brackets. Whereas the 2 losers, they will fall to the 2 and 1s and still have a couple of opportunities to get back to that 3 wins. So let's see what we have here in the throne room. We have some gold. We have some gold and a magic key. So 2 cases of gold and a magic key, and then they're going to look at their stats and spells and look, oh yeah, they have hurt more. Yep, this is going to be a nice fun start. And if you didn't catch their stats, they do have 30 agility. So yeah, this is fun. Oh, and there's a town right across the river.
Ooh, somewhere to spend that money. One thing to consider, they only have 1 cast of hurt more for now, so that might hold them back a ton.
Oh, and we have a Sparkover Bridge right near the castle. Sparkover Bridge being, of course, a bridge that leads to 1 tile. And a cave! It's the Jerk Cave.
Oh man, there are things going all around. MisterHomes found a skeleton to hurt more, and he's going to pick up 2 levels right off the bat here, so this should be...
jkoper found something and got 3.
Oh, jkoper did. Man, it's fast and furious here. Oh, MisterHomes can't get rid of that knight, but he knows where they are, so he can go back, and they're a very good hurt-morable enemy. Now that he has 2 hurt-mores to spend. jkoper with 3. And of course, in a hurt-more seed, Angel FM gets level 3 on a red slime, because of course. DW at it pointing out that the Sparkover Bridge has been searched, so the run's validated now. And looks like Will Wagner's heading over to his Jerk Cave as well. He's going to pick up a level on the way, so all our runners off and running. jkoper on level 5, and about to get 6 here. Everyone else on 4 and 5. It's a mad scramble to begin. Lorgon pointing out level 5 stats, pretty solid. So MisterHomes will be happy with that. Here, Koper finding a wyvern to hurt more, that's nice. He finally killed something and didn't get a level, but that's a nice gain of experience there for sure. And MisterHomes finds the one enemy you don't want to find, one of the enemies you don't want to find with hurt more. He finds the Demon Knight, so he's going to have to go back and try again. Looks like we're on level, what? Holmes is on 5, 6. Looks like we've gotten some MP, I mean, so we can cast hurt more. Koper finding Remolder, so that's big. He's going to get some keys, and that's going to potentially open things up for him. Remolder's always a good first town to see, especially with that starting 5 full set of keys. Oh, wait, was that 34 HP I saw down the corner for Will Wagner? I think that'll be okay. Man, blink and you miss it. Scorpion with DL2 Breath, Jerry Gamer pointing out, yep, I don't know if they'll be alive long enough to cast DL2 Breath, but they do have it. Wagner finds not Jerk Cave, Tablet Cave down there, so we'll see if there's anything exciting in that one. Meanwhile, Koper checking out the inner Mulder. Geez, there's hardly time to take a breath here. Yeah, world record seed indeed, Lorgon. More gold, hooray! Ooh, the Stones of Sunlight. So Will Wagner's trip into the Tablet Cave and MisterHomes' current trip into the cave will both be worth it. They both pick up their quest items, the Stone of Sunlight. Whew, real quick while there's a moment, the runners will need 3 quest items in order to proceed and get into Sharlock and kill the evil Dragon Lord. Stones of Sunlight are one of them. They'll also need to find the Silver Harp in a treasure chest somewhere, so that's going to have to be turned in for the Staff of Rain, the cave, somewhere in the overworld. They'll also look for a token, which could be in the a chest or an overworld search spot. So finding the Stones of Sunlight, one of the 3 quest items checked off. We're not even 5 minutes in though. Man, this is going fast. taking a quick glance at the stats, that MP that I mentioned a second ago has gotten very, very high, so everyone's got a good amount of MP to burn on Hurtmores, and the HP is pretty nice too, so that's, of course, always nice. If something survives the first Hurtmore, they can probably take a hit and get a second one off. Thinking about, like, Axe Knights and Armored Knights and stuff. Let's see, we've got a Charlock sighting over there on Will Wagner's side. Ooh, we have a town on Angel's side. Oh, that's Remulder. That's good. He's got his keys. Oh, there goes another Wyvern. Oh my goodness. Brecconary. Brecconary? We don't have time for Brecconary. Yeah, that's right, jkoper. Get out of there. We don't have time for that. Oh man, Fast and Furious. Let's see, there's level 6 up there for MisterHomes, so he gets a nice little boost, and he finds Healmores on 6 too, so I guess that's been there for a Ooh, Holmes is on his way to what I believe is Remulder, so he's gonna get his keys as well. So everyone on a good path for keys. Alright, and Koper with his keys back to check out the treasury. And what do we have there? Some wings. Exciting. A death necklace, possibly useful. They have a lot of HP right now. And a fairy, yeah, so... death necklace is not terrible, but I don't think... Yeah, so there's some goals. There's a gold grind available. We'll have to keep that in mind. I missed, I don't think I've missed what's in the shops, but I'm sure the runners will keep that in mind. There's a gold grind available and potentially pick up some equipment later on. Yeah, so the Death Necklace, while we have a second here as jkoper checks out the back of Tanteo, the Death Necklace in Vanilla won't do anything, but in Randomizer, it will give you 10 extra strength, the cost of 25% of your health, as jkoper finds an herb in the back of Tantego. So for these seeds where, like, currently we have relatively low strength, or early levels, but low strength, but high HP, Koper on level 7 has 37 strength, but 80 HP. It's one where, you know, if you have extra HP, you can use a Death Necklace and pick up a nice little strength boost. Typically you want about 130 HP, so of course we're not there yet, but there's plenty of time. Okay, and Koper, onward, finding a cave, which is mountain or did he find tablets? He did. He found tablet, which is his stones of sunlight, so 3 of our runners will have the stones, and once Angel finds tablet, he'll get his stones as well. Ooh, MisterHomes getting the nice level 7 as well. So fast and fierce. We're not even 10 minutes into this thing, and our lowest runner's level 6? That's insane. Right, meanwhile, Angel's gonna go find his Death Necklace and gold and other assorted things. MisterHomes actually spending time in Brecconary? Oh, it might be useful. I think I spied a silver shield up there, so he'll keep that in mind. And with the gold grind possible, might want to use that. Although they do have pretty high agility, so we'll...
Time will certainly tell on that, and apparently a bit of a tagging in and out here. FearonBurgundy here with you, filling in for Z-Man as we're flipping roles here due to behind-the-scenes issues here. So Ryguy and I will be bringing the action to you here on Randomania 2.
Oh, there's still more action left? Man, I thought it was all packed in the first 10 minutes there.
Hey, you know what? You were going like a hockey radio commentator there as quickly as everything was going here. As Holmes now falls to a blue dragon, that Dragon Lord breath rather problematic, and we have stuff in the treasury here that I probably should have been keeping track of, but I didn't think I'd be commentating.
Yeah, gold, Death Necklace, and some other assorted things we don't really care about. And Holmes will probably go into the back and be disappointed to find his herb as well. Couple people noting in chat that the blue dragons are not very fun. They have DL2 breaths that could be a bit of a obstacle when Sharlock time comes around. I mean, it's an obstacle now. Oh, and I think I see Angel heading towards the tablet cave, so everyone's going to have their stones of sunlight in a second here.
So already all the individual chests taken care of here in the early going, as we see the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave has an herb, the Tablet cave having the Stones of Sunlight, and we saw the gold chest behind the 2 doors in Rimmaldar. Or Rimalder, whichever your preference.
Yeah, and everyone's got keys, so everyone's on equal footing there. They'll probably be hunting for, I would imagine, well, of course, caves, but kind of on the lookout for Garenham now. There are 3 chests in the back of Garenham, plus a cave which could have more chests in it. So that's probably the next town we're hoping to find. And there's Sharlock on MisterHomes' side.
It's affectionately known in the community as of late as the Big C.
I have other less family-friendly names for it, but sure, we'll go with that.
Well, we'll talk about that more off the air here. But meanwhile, we have a coal find here for jkoper. Did we get the chance to see what the search spot? Oh, there was nothing according to chat here.
Yes, he found the nothing, so his exploration finding coal will not pay off in this case.
Not so good here, and not so good in the never-ending story either.
Oh, but hang on, there's another town right on by. Oh, it is that Garenham. He's going to get to check the chest in the back, plus he's going to get to see what cave is back there. Looks like most of our runners have moved on or are exploring the experience. The levels have kind of tapered off a little bit. You can see the stats, though. 80 agility already, so we're going to have a lot of defense power. Going to be defense breaking things really fast, and should make running in Sharlock a little easier when we get to that point. I mean, should.
And Angel FM finding a cave, which based on the movement, I'm thinking might be the northern end of the swamp cave.
Looks good to me.
Now we've got the 3 chests in Garenham on jkoper's side. We've got a fairy flute. We've got Erdrick's sword. And some gold.
Wow, those are 3 nice chests.
And we've got the back of Garenham, which might be the mountain cave based on the movement there. And it is. So 5 more treasure chests to access here. Level 8 now for Will Wagner.
And Coper will be right behind with this Armored Knight. He does have the HP to survive a hit, so he's going to get a couple hurt mores off as he goes and tries to clear this mountain. Yeah, Lorgon with a good summary. 12 minutes in, 80 agility, sword, hurt more, quest item, plus we've got mountain cave. This thing is not going to last long. As Will Wagner stumbles into coal, and he's going to get his nothing.
So atop the mountain cave, we've got a replacement magic key to start, and then 4 more chests in the lower basement. But first, another hurt mortal enemy? Why not? As MisterHomes finding Hawksness.
Ooh, I mean, unfortunately, no resources, but Hawksness with hurt more, that's definitely something you could take a look at.
Silver Harp find on jkoper's side. That's one of the key items needed.
That's a nice one to find, too, because he's still got to find that Staff of Rain cave somewhere, and now once he finds it, he'll be all set up to trade it in. He won't have to double back to it wherever.
Certainly helps with the efficiency, as Will Wagner now getting into Garenham and is going to get his sword and other items in the cave.
Whoa, Garenham has all the things you'd want, too. MisterHomes finding that Hawksness spike tile of being a stone man, not great, considering you have hurt more, but if he finds Garenham and the sword, they have heal more, they have the sword, you could take down a stone man and pick up, potentially, some armor.
And a level on jkoper's side. Wow, look at that power gain.
Yeah, that's a nice little bit of power. I think when Koper finds Hawksness, he'll definitely be okay to kill that Stoneman if he has the resources at least.
Okay, and a good question in chat here. The reason it's called a spike tile, it's, I don't know, I guess there's not really a better way to phrase it, but it's an enemy that every time you step on that tile, it forces an encounter.
Thanks to Demarine, too, for pointing out it was FF1 nomenclature. I didn't know where that term came from, but spike tile apparently is a Final Fantasy.
So, full clearing the mountain cave. There was a set of wings and some gold.
Yeah, this looks like the harp was the big, well, of course, the 3 chests in the back of Garenham, but in the mountain cave itself, the harp was the big thing. Koper, Will Wagner, also on their way back there. Will Wagner is Koper already.
And Finkel is Einhorn. Angel FM now is in Garen's grave. So access to 5 more treasure chests here.
As far as treasure chests go, we kind of know, I mean, Angel doesn't have the information, but we kind of know we're only really hunting for where a token could be in a chest, or maybe a fighter's ring. Otherwise, we know where all the other goodies are, and they're not in the grave. So Angel, he doesn't know it, but we know that there's not a whole lot left.
So our 3 up top, we've got that fighter's ring. That'll add 2 additional attack power. Also a magic key and a cursed belt.
If I'm not mistaken, that cursed belt means that our token is on the overworld, right?
Well, since Cole had nothing and we already found the fairy flute in the treasure chest, 1 cursed belt means that one of the items is, yes, either going to be in the overworld or Hawksness, and then the other, Erdrick's armor, will be in the other spot.
And to answer the question from Shift in chat, yeah, this is 2 separate races, so Angel and Mr. Holmes on top are racing each other, and jkoper and Will Wagner on the bottom are racing each other. So we've got all 4 of them up here, but it is the top 2 racing versus each other, and the bottom 2 racing versus each other. So it is 2 separate races. Meantime, Angel diving the grave, taking a gamble on it. Again, we know that all that could be down here is nothing, actually, right? Again, he doesn't know that, so he's taking a gamble on it. But again, we know that this is not going to produce anything. Wonder if either Will or Angel are in a position to Death Orb, and nope, not interested in gold grinding. That makes sense in a jet seed like this, but always curious to see if anyone decides to.
Well, you mentioned that in the treasury there was gold and there was a death necklace, and then there were 2 other things that I had missed.
Yeah, they were. I forgot what they were. They were inconsequential. They were like wings in a fairy water or something. Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes is about to get some coordinates, so we'll see.
"26 north, 56 east."
And we don't know what they are, but we know they're required. So we know that Hawksness has to have either our armor or token, and the other one is going to be on the overworld, because we did see the cursed belt and we did see the fairy flute in the chest. So he will have to get there one way or another. And it seems like a good time to mention it. Angel saw the swamp cave, but our runners, if they want to, they can count out those coordinates. I'm not sure based on this map if they can or not. It's a lot of rivers and stuff. If they don't want to count it out, though, they can go rescue Princess Gwaelin, who is being held in the swamp cave, take her back to the king, and get an item called Gwaelin's Love, which will tell them where on the map they are, and use that to locate the coordinates. So we'll see if Mr. Holmes, looks like he might be scouting out to see if he can count it. Doesn't look like he's going too well, but he might have to go rescue that princess to get to that spot. We know he will have to go there.
Oh, and that might be challenging for Sharlock. Golems with the Dragon Lord 2 breath.
I mean, at least golems are easy to run from, I guess, in theory.
Well, yeah, I mean, with 90 agility at level 9. 90 agility at level... Wow!
Yeah, they have a little bit of agility. And HP, too. Mr. Holmes on 10 and jkoper on 10 are over 100 HP. Once our runners gather up all the quest items in the rainbow drop, I mean, we might be talking about just going immediately. We might not even need a grind phase for this one. Also, looking around, there's a lot of nice things. I'm seeing a lot of knights and armored knights and wraith knights and droll magi. Really nice enemies, just hurt more and get out of the way. Pick up quick experience.
Stark contrast from the demon knights that we saw pretty early on, that when they were looking to hurt more something, there was nothing there. So there's the fighter's ring on jkoper's side, and is going to go ahead and put that on.
And Will Wagner working his way around to the grave, which again we know just has the fighter's ring in it. The other thing that's kind of missing here is we need to find the Staff of Rain Cave somewhere too, so that's something all of our runners will need to locate.
We know it's not in the back of either Garenham or Tantagel, so it is somewhere on the overworld. And I know this has been a rather rampant seed here, but maybe if you can get one of these yourself, you can certainly do so by acquiring the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, and you can do so using the link in the Twitch chat. And if you want some tips, pointers, if you want to race against some of the people here in casual races, the opportunities for that and a whole bunch more are in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Discord. Make sure to follow the link there in Twitch chat.
So, jkoper now has Repel. I missed when he got it, but he might have just gotten him on 10. He has Repel, and Repel is a nice one here. You'll basically skip all the encounters of enemies that you defense break, and with 90 agility, that's a lot. And he'll just get to move to those higher value enemies that can just hurt more out of the way, so that's going to make life a lot more efficient for him, for sure. And as I say that, he finds a blue dragon.
And High Spirits, meanwhile, mentioning in chat, if you'd like to race, he'll gladly crush you. He means give you a fair and competitive race. I think it's more of the former than the latter, but that's definitely experience talking.
Oh, it'll be fair. He'll just crush you fairly.
Exactly.
And me and everyone else.
And chat is giving me flack for it, and my response to that is, hey, a stopped clock is right twice a day. Yes, and for those of you just joining us, this has been a rather adventurously quick seed thus far. Our runners just 23 minutes in, already closing in on double-digit levels here, and they started off with Hurtmore, and that just kind of took things off to the races. They've been finding things along the way. Erdrick's Sword was pretty early acquired for everybody. Yeah, as you can see, Angel FM, the only one not at a double-digit level, but is fairly close. Yeah, Red Dragon's one of the toughest enemies in the game. They're going down 23 minutes in.
Yeah, the initial thought, you see the Red Dragon pop up. Oh no, jkoper's in trouble. We're only 20 minutes in. And then you realize he has 126 attack power and heal more. Yeah, that Red Dragon's not going to last long. And to answer Lulz Cards fans' question in chat, yes, you need 3 wins to advance to the brackets. So these are both 2-0 races. So the winner of the top race and the winner of the bottom race will both pick up their 3rd win and guarantee advance to the bracket stages.
And then at that point, they're just playing for seeding.
I think I might have heard rumors of a bye too if you get high enough, but yeah, essentially, yeah.
Well, the challenge with that is, you have an even 64 players, so after the 5 Swiss rounds, you'll have 32 players at 3-2 or better. So, yeah, it's going to be the top 32, and it's just to be a matter of the various tiebreakers to determine the seedings and whatnot. So, I initially thought there was going to be a play-in race, but I think that was with a determination of an uneven number of players. There just happened to have been 64 entered competitors. So that is, for a bracket stage, as even as you can get. So the top 32 are going to advance.
Ah, so those rumors of buys are greatly exaggerated. I missed it, but I see in chat, apparently Holmes counted out the coordinates. That's impressive. And now he's back in Hawksness to take out the Stoneman. He's got the resources this time, so he might be in Grindigo here. 25 minutes in.
So yes, Erdrick's token was what Holmes had picked up in the overworld, so Hawksness, that's where he is now, and he's going to beat the Stone Man, and is going to get a level first.
Oh, good point in chat. Yeah, Holmes hasn't been to Garenham yet, so once he gets to Garenham and gets his sword and gets his harp... Oh, he still needs to trade in too. We still haven't seen the Staff of Rain Cave. Okay, so we got a couple more things left to do.
Yeah, the levels are getting pretty close, but there's still some errands to run. I believe, as Lorgon will call it when he's commentating, this is one of those homework seeds, where the levels aren't so much the issue, but you have to go and check off everything on the proverbial checklist, the shopping list, as it were.
And a couple people pointing out in chat that we've been given a lot of things. We don't have the return spell yet. And so if we get the idea of going on level 12, 13, or 14, return hasn't shown up, you might want to have some wings. You might be taking a little walk back home at the end of the Meantime, Will Wagner's getting his coordinates. Let's see how he handles them. Ooh, Angel can't quite get that Stoneman in Hawksness, so he's going to have to make a return trip there to get his armor. Yeah, this has been really fast. There's all kinds of things that we were given, but the one thing that's still lurking out there that, I'd kind of forgotten about was the Staff of Rain Cave. And if that's in some really awkward, weird, strange located place, I could hold our runners up a little bit here.
Yeah, and there's little stressful in a race situation where you are looking around and you're sweating it out because you have that one thing that you need, and you're just scouring the land and can't find it anywhere. You're combing the desert like in Spaceballs.
Oh, those are the worst, especially when you realize it was one screen away the whole time. Oh, those get you. So Mr. Holmes going over to Swamp Continent. I kind of feel like this is where Staff of Rain Cave has to be, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Coper's found Cantlin and he's going for the coordinates. Looks like Will Wagner's back in Swamp Cave, so we might be doing a princess rescue, maybe?
Quite possibly.
They can definitely mow through whatever decides it wants to be on the spike tile, so that's not really a concern. Curious if he casts outside and uses up those wings, though. That might make a difference, right? Oh, it's a golem, so that fairy sleuth out of the back of Garenham will be useful. I guess you don't really need it, but still. Oh, and CD pointing out in chat, and Angel showing us up there, red dragons have stop spells, so that's great news for Sharlock. They seem like they don't mind casting it as well. Mr. Holmes hitting a Stoneman with Hurtmore, because why not? And Will Wagner dispatches the golem, so he's going to wander in and grab his princess. Let's see, 50% stop spell, 50% Hurtmore. Actually, the Hurtmore won't be bad once you get Erdrick's armor even, too. That's probably weaker than their attack. Yeah, CD pointing out the blues are probably worse. Will does in fact use his wings, and he's got his princess rescue, so he's going to be on his way to his token now.
Yeah, those are not easy coordinates, but, I mean, they're not the easiest, and they're certainly not the hardest. So I guess, I mean, Holmes is one of those runners who will count almost any... It will count pretty much any coordinates, or almost any coordinates.
So Lurgon pointing out, as I was just mentioning a second ago, that Will used his wings. He goes to the treasury and gets more wings, so he's good on that. That is a nice move on Will's part to refresh those wings and not forget about that.
Just one of those subtle nuances. Just recognizing, all right, I don't have return. I'm going to need one of these. Sometimes you see runners picking up fairy waters because they know that they don't have repel right away.
Yeah, that's one of those things we've all done where you finish the game, you're feeling good, all right, I can't get back to the castle. And you spend a minute and a half walking back to the castle just waiting to lose the race because of that. So that's a really good move on Will Wagner's part to pick up more wings. Looks like Mr. Holmes is about to pick up a level off this red dragon. Answering Demarine's question in chat, has anyone done the Walk of Shame in this year's tournament? The walking back from Sharlock after winning? I don't know. I haven't seen one. I know it happens in the casual races from time to time. I think it might have happened in the Winter League one time. I don't know this tournament. I haven't spotted it yet anyway. So between our 4 runners, we have a lot of information again. Everyone kind of needs a little something that someone else has. Again, that major exception being that Staff of Rain Cave we have not seen. But otherwise, we have pretty much everything covered here, I think.
Yeah, it's been, it's been just flying along here. I don't even know what other way to put it here. It's, I guess that's why they call it a jet seed.
Mr. Holmes finds Grave before he finds Garanham, so he's going to get his fighter's ring, his key, and his cursed belt, and we'll see if he goes to the bottom or if he continues on for looking for Garanham. Looks like he's heading down. Jkoper, armed with the coordinates, is going to go take out his golem and rescue his princess.
And you can just see, between the 4 of these runners, how rampantly they're leveling up. They're getting everything done efficiently. You see why all 4 of these runners are 2-0 heading into these respective races.
Yeah, definitely the routing is really big. Like, Mr. Holmes counted out those coordinates and got his token, then went straight over to Hawksness and got his armor very, very quickly. He's taking care of the grave right here. Oh, look, there's Will Wagner with the Staff of Rain Cave, so that's been located. We have seen everything on all 4 screens now. And even though Will is behind, a couple people in chat pointing out they think he might be the favorite even though he's behind on experience, in this seed, you can find experience anywhere. You can pick up experience really fast. So if he gets that rainbow drop really quickly and he's on his way to the coordinates, that's nice. That he's going to pick up the Staff of Rain and the coordinates all at once. He could be in good shape here to make up that experience. Yeah, so Lurgon pointing out in chat that the token, the Staff of Rain Cave's right by the token, right by Hawksness. So there's definitely an opportunity to go and make a nice little trip and take care of all those little errands, take care of that little homework. Oh, but Will uses the wings to go back to the castle. He's going to get his rainbow drop right away.
Well, it's one less thing to have to worry about, and then it's just pretty much, well, he's got to look for the armor still, so maybe he's going to head back to Hawksness, get the armor, and see if it's a grindable enemy, and just keep going and getting that experience.
Can't remember if he saw Hawksness. Maybe he didn't know it was over there. Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes finishes up the grave, and he's on his way to continue exploring. Yeah, I think that, yeah, it's only Mr. Holmes that has the armor yet. I think everyone's seen Hawksness, but Mr. Holmes is the only one that's gone back and gotten the armor so far. Angel was trying, but got some really bad sleep luck. Answering Ace's question in chat as far as grinding, what is ideal, the Hawk Spike tile or the Swamp Spike tile? I mean, neither one's great, honestly. Like, you don't really want to grind Stonemen if you can avoid it. You don't really want to grind Golems if you can avoid it. Good news is I don't think we're going to have to do much grinding at all here, so they'll probably go for whichever one is closer. I don't really have a good sense of which one's closer. I feel like Swamp might be a little closer, but yeah, probably just whichever one's closer in that case.
Yeah, the art of the grind is is certainly a bit of a challenging one. But yeah, the way that the runners have been going along here, they've pretty much just been grinding while they fight. For the most part. I mean, Will Wagner trailing a little bit, so there might be a little bit more of a grind for him. But I mean, at this point, he, with the exception of getting Hawksness in the armor, has all the rest of the errands done. So he can focus on that, and then he can do a dedicated grind to catch up while everybody else is still taking care of their last bits of the errands, picking up all the items that need to be picked up, and then getting ready to go for game.
Speaking of, Mr. Holmes has got Garenham, so he's got his sword. He's going to go in the back and get his harp, and he should, hopefully he remembers where the harp cave is. We got chat saying that he did see it, so hopefully he remembers where that is, and he'll have his rainbow drop, and, you know, they're not very far off from being ready to go. I think Koper on 13 could feasibly do it right now if he had the rainbow. Looking over his stats, he's got 136 attack power. He'd only need, on average, 11 heal mores for that or so, and he's got 11. So he could do it. You know, you could even maybe start talking about Death Knight. He certainly wouldn't need much more. We're very close.
So jkoper, after running a few errands, is now going to take the princess back, taking the scenic route back to the castle.
Demmering bringing up a good point, too, in chat. Could be a metal slime grind. I mean, that would be possible, so I'm not sure if I remember seeing metals anywhere, but that, I mean, we're almost that attack power for sure. Usually need about the low 140s for that. Right, Angel's got his, or is on his way to get his coordinates. Oh, Demarine, I missed that. I missed jkoper dealing 3 to a metal. Yeah, he's at 136. I thought you needed a little more to deal 3 to a metal, but apparently not.
Well, I believe with 136 you can do 3.
Oh, you're just not guaranteed to?
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, looking at this, I definitely, in a seed like this, you know, we've got tons of stats. We're almost ready to go. I would definitely be much more concerned about getting all the errands done. And, you know, you can, of course, pick up experience on the way. But getting the errands, getting the rainbow drop, getting into Sharlock is got to be #1 priority right now, because this thing's going quick.
At 136, I think it's an average of 2 to 4 on a metal slime, so you're almost guaranteed to one-shot it, but not quite. It's more, you're more often to do so than not.
All right, so Koper is back, and he's got his Staff of Rain, and we'll see if he loops in on gets his token and armor. He could be in good shape here if he does all these little errands.
I think in doing the calculations, there was a question in chat, what attack power do you have to guarantee a one-shot on a metal slime? And I think it's 140, maybe 139. I think 138 is a little low, then it's an average of 2 to 5.
Coper's got his Staff of Rain. He's got his token. He just needs an armor. And the Rainbow Drop, but...
142, we're being told from Zarnax 42.
Coper's zeroing right on in on Hawksness, so he's going to have his armor shortly here once he dispatches the Stone Men. Oh no, Coper gets a particularly troublesome blue dragon hanging out in Hawksness, but he's going to dispose of that. Another thing to note too is that Coper is not that far away from 14. I was saying that 13 is maybe doable, and 13 is almost doable, so 14, boy, 14's going to be really close to go mode, and Coper's going to be really close to having that Rainbow Drop. Meanwhile, up top, Holmes did in fact know exactly where that Staff of Rain cave is. He's back there to get his Staff of Rain as well, so he's in really good shape too.
And here I was thinking that having an early or having the fastest seed of the week that was going to stand, but I think that I'm about to get trumped here by any of the 4 of these runners.
Yeah, this is going to be really fast. Once these guys grab their Rainbow Drops, we're not going to need a whole lot of time here, especially that agility. Holmes diving into... Holmes realizing he needs to go pick up his Rainbow Drop, but I'm pretty sure that was right near the castle. Yeah, we're not going to need a whole lot of time. We might see Holmes pick up 14 on the way down. That would make perfect sense, and just go. Yep, my other Nick has the math in chat correct. 136 attack power, 9 to 18 damage range, 12 attacks on average. So 10 heal mores is enough. Plus, don't forget too that 125 HP, maybe more. We're getting it doubles here and there. Yeah, it's definitely doable on 14. I mean, probably on 13 too, even actually. Agility is good, so you should be able to run from things. Getting the resource should be good. Yeah, we get the Rainbow Drop, and we're gonna go stab some Dragon Lords.
I think jkoper is attempting to, I believe, beeline back to where Sherlock is, possibly? Or trying to remember where it was, possibly?
I missed it. Did Coper go back and get his Rainbow Drop?
Maybe I was confusing trading in for the Staff of Rain with trading in for the Rainbow Drop. So Mr. Holmes is going to be the first into Sherlock Castle at just 43 minutes into the seed. And he might be going for game here.
Yeah, I think 13 does have the stats. He doesn't even have to worry about picking up 14 on the way down.
And he's not going to. He is just, he is in RLH mode. Run like heck.
A couple people pointing out in chat that don't think Mr. Holmes has wings, so we might see a walk back home. I don't think it was too far of a walk, to be fair, but interesting to see if he does check the treasury. As Coper grabs his drop.
And once again, a reminder that even though this is presented as a quad, it is the top half Angel FM against Mr. Holmes, and then the bottom half it is jkoper against WillWagnerMusic. All 4 runners are 2-0. The 2 respective winners will advance to the bracket stage with a 3-0 record, and they will just play the remaining 2 weeks to improve their seeding.
Mr. Holmes is flying through Sherlock. He's already into the second zone. He nopes on that wizard, so he is absolutely happy with his level 13 stats. And like we said, he should be good.
Angel FM bringing the princess back to the Tanagal Castle.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like, well, Mr. Holmes does have a nice lead here, but, you know, if Angel goes and gets the token, gets the Staff of Rain, gets the armor all in that one trip, picks up the Rainbow Drop, and something goes wrong with Mr. Holmes' dive, I mean, he only needs 12 attacks on average, but we all know how those averages can work sometimes. This could get really close on the top here. It's definitely doable for Mr. Holmes on 13, but there's not a ton of wiggle room there. There's some from doubles, but there's not a ton of it there, so one failed attempt and Angel could be right back in this thing. Meantime, Koper is into Sharlock as well, and he is certainly diving for game. 14's got plenty of stats. We'll see if he fights his... Nope, he's not interested. He's good with 14 stat.
And the question in chat from LOZ Cards Fan 23, Deathless Seeds have to be extremely rare. Yes, you don't know the half of it. They are ridiculously uncommon.
Especially since a lot of times runners will intentionally kill themselves to Death Wart back home. I mean, even if you don't count those, though, Deathless are very, very unlikely. Also answering Ace5322's question, is there a guarantee of running at a certain agility level? There's not a guarantee. There's a probability. You know, you're very likely to run from things, but I have definitely failed to run from, like, Drakeys at 102 agility because Randomizer.
And the mini boss here down in Sharlock is an Armored Knight, and Mr. Holmes going to use a couple of just use a couple of Hurtmores on it. I guess has done the math and realizes that he has the MP to spare.
So I might have sort of commentators cursed Holmes talking about bad RNG in that Drakey run fail. Yeah, he got mobbed by a couple of those blue dragons on the bottom floor, so that's troublesome. He's down a heal more. He should still get doubles, so this is still definitely possible, but we'll have to keep a close eye on this. It got a lot closer now.
Yeah, an average of 13 attacks and 10 heal mores.
If he gets the opening double, he should be in good shape. But, again, averages can be funny. Speaking of, jkoper's got one of those blue dragons on the bottom floor himself there. Ooh, nice start. Oof. Opening double for a total of 27. That'll work.
You got the high and the low there, so you're right on average at this point. Another 15, that puts you up to 42. Now again, the Dragon Lord can have anywhere from 150 to 165 in terms of hit points.
Whew, Mr. Holmes blasting through this.
Another 17 up to 59 now. And another 17.
Yeah, the way this is going, Mr. Holmes took a close fight, and he might finish with an extra heal more at this rate. Another 17. Sheesh.
3 straight 17s, up to 93 already. I think it's still a little too close for him to throw up a Swagmore.
Well, I don't think he'll swag
107.
more.
Yeah, no.
He's in good
Although
shape.
there's a double there, and that's a minimum roll of 9, but up to 116. There's 126 now, another fairly low roll. 142, I believe now.
Yeah, there it goes. That was a really nice fight for Mr. Holmes. He's gonna
157.
take the top. He does have to do the walk of shame. I think he planned this though, but yeah, get out your GGs for Mr. Holmes. He's gonna win his race, go to 3-0, and he is on to the bracket stages. Yeah, the castle right down here. The walk, not a big deal. And he's going to smash the sub-hour mark. And jkoper right behind, well, in a different race, but jkoper also onto the Dragon Lord, going to smash the sub-1 hour mark too. Holmes is going to go
official SRL time. Official SRL time for Mr. Holmes is going to be 49 minutes and 23 seconds. So a sub 50-minute seed for Mr. Holmes.
Whew, talk about blink and you miss it. That was really nice of Mr. Holmes. He didn't even think about going for 14. He knew 13 was enough, and 13 was more than enough as it turned out.
Oh, wow. Getting some information here from Game Boy F9, one of our long-term statisticians, noting that this is the fastest seed this year and the second fastest run in tournament history, just 18 seconds shy of Jacquemus Wedge from 2016. So bordering on the jettiest of jet seeds. And Lorgon noting in chat, if only he didn't have that walk of shame, if only he had a set of wings, he might have set the record.
All right, meantime, again, the bottom race is, well, still up for grabs. Well, there you go. Koper's going to win the bottom race as he takes out his Dragon Lord. And he's going to be in with a really fast time, too. Only a couple minutes behind Mr. Holmes. So, well, good race for jkoper. He's going to win his race. Doing the walk of shame as well.
Well, given that it's a victory, it's in a sense a walk of pride as well.
Oh, they're always walks of shame. But yes, that was an excellent run and good victory for jkoper. Look at these death counts. 3 deaths from jkoper, 4 from Will Wagner, only 9 for Angel. 9 is pretty good.
So, yep, get out the GGs in chat. jkoper is going to win over WillWagnerMusic, going to go to 3-0, clinch a spot in the bracket stage with an official SRL time of 51 minutes and 18 seconds, just under 2 minutes behind Mr. Holmes.
And speaking of Mr. Holmes, I believe he's here with us. Good game, Mr. Holmes. That was quite the race, especially the first 10 minutes there, huh?
No kidding. That was absolutely crazy. And I'm not sure about jkoper, but I'm pretty sure we could have won on level 12. I'm not sure what you guys were thinking.
You know, just going around and getting all the stuff, you just kind of naturally got up to 13. Koper just kind of naturally got up to 14. No one really grinded, but yeah, 13 definitely had the stats, and 14 was even better.
Yeah, I was definitely sweating some bullets at the very end there. I had some very uncooperative blue dragons. Once again, showing that agility just doesn't matter sometimes.
Yeah, we noticed that the blue dragons almost RNG that away from you, but you got by them and you took down the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, I knew I had some wiggle room, so I definitely wasn't going to risk it or anything like that. So thankfully I had that and I didn't have to kind of put myself in mortal danger.
So, Mr. Holmes, we were told by Game Boy F9 in chat that your finishing time here is the second fastest run in tournament history, just 18 seconds behind Jacquemus Wedge back in the inaugural year of 2016.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but I mean, I think this was more a case of the seed as opposed to necessarily my expertise. That was just a blazing fast seed.
Well, but there's definitely, we were talking about it too, there's definitely things you have to adjust for in a blazing fast speed. I mean, like, what are you looking at when you see a jet seed? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point. I'm trying to think, there were a few situations where something like that happened in this race. It's kind of like you really only want to be as thorough as you have to. It's like if you see something that's just kind of like a vanity thing, like, oh, I'm going to look for a dragon scale or something like that. It's like, don't waste your time. Just cut every corner you can reasonably. That's kind of how I play these really fast seeds.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to notice. People see that, like, the quick time and assume the seed was easy, but there's definitely a lot of strategy that goes into playing these jet seeds. And also, we're joined by jkoper. Congratulations, jkoper. You won your race, and you're up to 3-0 as well, so congrats.
Thanks. Seed was easy.
Well done, Jay, still.
Yeah. I blame my deficit on that Hurtmore failing on that Armored Knight, like halfway through. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, that's just rude.
But yeah, it was a fast seed. Sure would have been nice to find the Hawksness earlier and everything. I don't know when you got there, but I got there like just before finishing, basically.
Okay, I think we must have explored in opposite directions because, like, I found Rimmeldar, then Breckenary, and then I got towards Hawksness when I went east.
Yeah.
And I actually, the last thing I found was Garenham, the town I knew was there, but couldn't figure out how the heck to get there.
Yeah. I went to Garenham pretty early. So I guess I had the sword a lot earlier. I think that's where the sword was, right? Yeah. But I just didn't like the map didn't really feel like it was pushing me in that direction until I got the coordinates, and then that's what led me to that corner. So I got the token and the armor really close back to back, and then I was at the tile, and I'm like, well, I'm close to this next level. Let's see it. Hope we get returned because I'm out of wings now. And then it didn't get returned. Then I looked a little bit for Cantlin again to try to get more wings. Couldn't find it. And then I realized that it's faster to just walk back to the castle. So I walked back to the castle to refill MP to go to Sharlock, and then I walked back to the castle after beating the Dragon Lord again. So.
Right. I ended up just walking home from the castle, but I can tell you, like, the entire time I was walking home, I was sweating extremely profusely.
Yeah. It feels really bad, that's for sure. But it was a short walk though, so could have been much worse.
Oopsies.
That was the sound of everybody's jaws dropping at how quick this seed was.
Yeah, this was very different from the last seed that I had a few days ago. If I would have had the seed a few days ago, then I guess I would have finished before my nest crashed. So, but I certainly appreciate the sportsmanship by Will with the rematch. I'm a little surprised that they're not done yet, but I guess they could have had things going wrong for them.
Well, Will is currently fighting the second form of the Dragon Lord, and Angel is currently on the third basement of Sharlock, so they should be finishing up momentarily. Of note here, and this was brought up by Game Boy F9, jkoper, your finish at 51:18, the fifth fastest in tournament history.
Oh, really? So, what is Holmes then?
Holmes was the second fastest. He was just 18 seconds behind the fastest overall time, and that was 49:05 by Jackamus back in 2016.
Yeah. So I thought. I'm pretty sure this is pretty likely to be a non-speed hex PB for me, but I use the same splits for speed hex versus 9, which is a little silly, but whatever.
You always got to wonder how fast this seed could be pushed if you knew where everything was. Like, could you do it in under 25 minutes? It'd probably be close.
Yeah. So, how about all of those, what the heck are those things called? Troll Magis? That's what those
The
are.
gray
right?
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
They were everywhere.
I only saw a small handful. I guess I must have just dodged all of them.
I feel like on the certain floors of, that floor that's duplicated between the grave and, I'm pretty sure it's the grave and the second floor of the mountain cave. They had to be at least 2 out of 5. Because all I saw in those dungeons was Drow Magis and there was some minor enemy that I didn't want to fight, but I killed so many Drow Magis in this seed.
I'm trying to think if I even went to the bottom floor of the mountain cave. That was in Garenham, right?
Yes, I was in the back of Garenham.
Because I think I just remember getting the harp and just getting the heck out of there. It's like, okay, I need to go now.
Yeah, I wasn't anywhere close to go mode, so I mean, I pretty much had everything that was likely to be in the chest, I think, at that point, but I went down just in case the token was down there. More than anything.
Just to point out here, Will Wagner did finish off his Dragon Lord under an hour, so good job to Will Wagner, and he's joining us right now. Quick one, huh?
As Will is working on getting the audio situated here, the official SRL time, 59 minutes and 5 seconds. Angel FM, meanwhile, has just been called a fool by the Dragon Lord and is getting into the fight, so not quite sub-hour, but still going to be probably sub-65 minutes here.
Hey, everyone, how goes?
Hey, Will, GG.
Hey.
That's an incredible runs, under 50 minutes and then 51. I missed Hawksness for a while when after I found the silver harp. If I would have kept on exploring, and if I would have saved on that wing, I guess I could save myself some time. But I ran that one pretty good, and if you're gonna lose, might as well lose under an hour.
Yeah, I didn't find Hawksness until just before I finished either. I got the coordinates for the token and saved Gwalen and followed those coordinates, and then I went and explored that corner after that and found Hawksness. So yeah, I certainly could have had the armor lot earlier, but I think I had a fairly fast start. I would be a little surprised if I wasn't the first person to Rimuldar, but maybe that's possible, I guess, because I killed an enemy and then I took a death to refill my MP, and then I went straight back in that direction and found Rimuldar right away. So I don't know, and then I went around and found Garenham and got the sword.
Yeah, that sounds pretty much identical to my experience as well.
I found I think the Stones of Sunlight right away, and I went to the right for a little bit, and then I went back west and found the town just north of the swamp, and then I died a couple times and went south, and then I found Rimuldar, so I probably found that a little.
Yeah, jkoper, you were the first one to Rimuldar, although everyone got Rimuldar relatively fast. It was a really crazy first 10 minutes. Like, everyone was flying out of the gate, for sure.
I guess commentators can maybe be thankful that there's no, like, turbo walking in this randomizer.
Oh goodness, if there were, then we'd be talking like auctioneers.
But Will, thanks again for agreeing to re-race. Kind of unfortunate what happened in the first one. Would have been nice if we had this seed the first time, so I would have finished before my cart crashed. But yeah, thanks for the good support.
Yeah, no problem. On the first Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament I was in, I think I was about to get my first win, and I was on my laptop, and it was the last race of the round robin, and my computer just died, and I was like, oh man, and I felt really good about like how I was playing, and I got back into commentary, and they're like, oh, you were doing really well, and you had a shot, and I'm like, oh, if that happens, that stinks, because that's a failure of electronics. That's not a failure of play.
This community rocks, enough said.
Yeah, they can't get much better, more simple of a point than that, as Angel FM finishing here with a not too shabby official SRL time of 64 minutes and 5 seconds.
That is unbelievable. Like, to have a seed that is under an hour and 10 minutes for everyone, I don't know if I've never been part of anything like that because this is only one of a handful of times I've been under.
Yeah, 104 is a really good time, but dang, this was a crazy seed.
So now that sets up the 2-0 potential matchups here. The drawing will be a little bit later tonight. So the I guess Elite Eight of the undefeated still here at 3-0. I mean, you've got Jackamus, Wedge, High Spirits, Rye Guy, my co-commentator here, MisterHomes, jkoper, Lorgon, Edgestream, and Smashy. Any thoughts about the potential opponents coming up as Angel will be joining us momentarily?
Yeah, I can bet MisterHomes and jkoper are just hoping to get me, huh?
No, man, that's just a straight up murderer's row. It's like choosing between getting shot and getting stabbed at that point.
Yeah, everyone there is really strong, so there's no good out there. Just gonna have to deal with whoever you get in the draw and do your best, I guess.
Well, you can say that, I mean, not just about the 3-0s, but I mean, the 2-1s are that way. Even to a degree, the 1-2s. I mean, this is not an easy competition, and it's one of those things where in a lot of cases, you are better than what your record says you are just because of the sheer caliber of talent that is across the board up and down.
Yeah, and it seems just like with the nature of these Swiss rounds, every week you get better and better matches. I mean, this week had some great matches, and I can't wait to see what matches we have in store for week 4 because they just keep getting better and better, more challenging too, for sure.
Yeah, everything. At least I'm so thankful to be at 3 wins, so I don't have to stress out for the next 2 weeks. So I think these like 3-0, 3-1 in the future, 4-0 matches are just going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to see if we can organize some fun flags, maybe. I think that'd be great.
A little bit of an entertainment showcase kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's a 64-player field, so like there's no buys or anything. And seeding at that point, I feel, is just kind of like redundant. Everybody there is just killers. So 3-2 or 5-0, it doesn't.
Oh man, now I wish I would have won.
Well, I'm sure that among the 2-1s that, while there'll be a little bit of stress, I'm sure, there is no requirement that you have to have the standard tournament flag. So you can certainly tweak some things for entertainment purposes. And who knows, Will, if since you and I are both 2-1, if we get paired up, I think we could shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, let's get a little froggy.
Dragon Warrior 4 seed, you guys. Anyway, joining us, Angel FM. Good game, Angel. That was quite the seed, huh? Really good time, but man, that seed was something.
Yeah, it was a great jet seed that I had a little bad luck and a lot of bad routing.
Yeah, we did see your first try on the Stoneman. I think you failed like 2 out of 3 sleeps. That's not common.
I think 2 out of 3 sleeps. I ran to every blue dragon that could possibly kill me. And then Garinham apparently having everything that was very, very nice. But unfortunately, 45 minutes in, yeah, it doesn't help.
Well, you found it probably about the same time I did then. That was the very last thing I found and then just had to book it.
Yeah, but I still had token and armor to go after that. So you were a
True
little
story.
bit further.
Well, I mean, of course, GG had to offer that personally. You definitely put the fear of God into me in this race, and at no point was it comfortable. So, thanks for that.
I tried my best. I don't know. To me, it was a jet seed. It's what you excel at. So I was a little bit scared when I see all these stat gains, and especially with Hurtmore on level 1.
Yeah, I guess we've asked everyone else, but what are your thoughts on jet seeds? Like, what are you doing differently? What are you trying to get accomplished? Because there's an art to them for sure.
I don't know. I haven't played as many as I want to, and I felt pretty good at the beginning because I was exploring a good chunk, and then I pretty much got in a rut about mid-game, and it's pretty much going in all the same directions. It's something I really need to improve. I can definitely do the grindy game, no problem, but the jet seeds I still have a problem with.
I think for me, a lot of the professionals, like I played against like Weejui and Nest Cardinality in a few Jet Seeds, and I find that the experienced players are very mechanical and are able to break down a seed like that very quickly. And the more spread out and exotic a seed is, the more chance that early exploration and outside the box thinking can have a shot. And so I think I like seeds that are around an hour and a half or longer, even if you have to grind out in the beginning and find a spot in the map to kind of carve your way. Only because when it's a jet seed, I'm playing against people who are maximizing the numbers, and they know based on attack whether it makes sense to attack or hurt more. A few times I was hurt mooring enemies I should have been attacking, probably like Druid Lords, and if I would have saved it for Magic Wyvern or Star Wyvern, I wouldn't have had to run as much. So it's a lot about figuring out the numbers and being able to play with these really experienced players when it comes to the math of maximizing your early magic.
And that's what separates the middle tier to the upper echelon players. And I think a lot of us are learning that just week by week and stream by stream and race by race and seed by seed.
I didn't realize, Holmes, you went on 13.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of going on level 12, but I was pretty much 200 experience away from it.
Definitely. I think that I think he could have at 12 potentially, but I think that 14 wasn't really that much of a gain.
Yeah, could you even use the death necklace at level 14?
No, it was only 3 HP, so at 128 it was considerable, but not worth it because you don't get the max heal more.
Okay.
Yeah, basically all 14 had was enough MP for one more heal more. There was a little agility and a little HP, but the extra heal more is kind of all you got for 14.
Yeah, I went on 14 and I started the Dragon Lord fight with 90 MP, I think. And what did I finish with? Like 30 or 40 or something. So, I didn't use Death Necklace.
Is there any chance we could put up the 12 stats? Because I'm curious to see what 12 was, because I didn't really take a good look while I was playing.
It was 92 strength and I think 11 heal mores.
Wow, yeah, it was really doable.
And you had like 119 HP, so you have an outside chance at double.
But you were probably hoping you got return on one of those levels.
Yeah, I mean, it was like jkoper was saying earlier, it's not super long walk, so we weren't a little bit concerned, but not super concerned.
It what turns a 49-minute seed into a 48-minute.
But
Yeah,
looking at it,
exactly.
I was kind of peeking into the crystal ball a little bit here. It looks like that return wouldn't have come until level 16.
Classic.
Yeah, much faster to walk back, it sounds like.
Or to really be prepared and buy some wings, I guess. I
Yeah, I
certainly
think
bought more wings in this seed than normal.
I ended up having a pair of wings, but I used it to return from the second continent when I reached kind of the dead end northeast of Cantlin. So that was the only one I think I got.
There wasn't a second continent, was there?
Oh, sorry, yeah. So I went through the swamp cave. This is before I realized
Right.
that.
Yeah,
I ended up
I went
walking
through the
down into
swamp
Brecken.
cave. I had a funny experience. I went through the swamp cave from like the other side, I guess, and then I immediately went like southwest from the cave near Cantlin and explored that whole dead end area. And then I got back and went up and saw the town, found it, that was Cantlin. I was like, oh, it's like practically on the same screen. I don't even know if maybe it was on the same screen, but it was like right there. And I just, it was funny that I found the other entrance of the swamp cave first.
Yeah, the one just north of Sharlock was the one I found too.
Yeah, same here. I'm having a chat. We've opened a new race room for anyone who's interested, and we're talking about a race earlier today, and they're mentioning, at 49 minutes, I was probably at level 4 in that one. So I think we deserved.
It was really well played by everybody. A great.
Yeah, sometimes in these jet seeds, it really just comes down to exploration RNG. So I try my best to mitigate that as much as possible by really trying not to double retrace my steps unless I absolutely have to. And I think that ended up helping me find most things except for Garinham.
Alrighty. Well, any closing thoughts here before we wrap things up in this rather rampantly paced seed?
Enjoy the break from the easy seed.
I just I want to remind that there are players Zarnax42 and Monsieur Slime, whose name I can almost get right every time.
It's close enough, I think.
Exactly. It's not really a par, but it's a gimmick.
60% of the time, he gets it right every time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, make sure to give all of our runners a follow here, as they gave you, as you can see, a heck of a race here. Angel FM, WillWagnerMusic, jkoper, and MisterHomes. And also make sure to show some love to the folks behind the scenes, CD Improv, our restreamer, our trackers, CyberDark86 and Z-Man050778. And for my broadcast partner, RyGuy3745, I'm FearonBurgundy saying until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. We're now going to send a raid over to Randomania 3, where the last of our Week 3 matchups is going on. A pair of 1-1s, Zarnax 42 against Monsieur Slime. Good night, everyone.